Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Delta Green tabletop role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, military organizations, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living, dead, or redacted, is completely coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I am your handler this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with our Agents of Ocel as we delve deeper into Delta Green. And some time has passed since you've heard our episode, and it's convenient because some time has clearly passed for our agents. At the top of the show, of course, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. There's all sorts of information about how you can support the show should you choose to, but simply sharing this episode is a ton of help. We're active on YouTube, and we're also active on Twitch. So twitch.tv/theoldwaystwitch. We have yet to play, as of this recording, in Delta Green on Twitch, but who knows? That could be fun. We might try that someday. And what I'll do now is get out of the way and let the players introduce their characters. So to my right.
Hey, it's me, Miranda, a.k.a. Dr. Aaron Weber, sometimes that kind of doctor. I could use maybe Dr. Aaron Weber a little bit right now because I don't feel too good. But it's 2015 and it's August. So I think Dr. Aaron Weber is probably still debating people about what color that dress is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt.
She'll not let it go.
I can see that. Tenacious. To Dr. Weber's right.
Hi, this is Nate, your friend Nate on the Discords, and I play Special Agent Elliot Winters. It's been so long. I've got a backgammon tournament I gotta get to soon. I gotta win my quarters back from Ruth Ellen. Thank you so much for this gap in time. No, I'm not going to do that the whole time, but after the last episode and our big surprise, I have some harbored resentments over all of the moments of time I've lost with Elliot, but we'll see what it's like now in the future.
Yeah, I think that's understandable, but I'm glad to see Elliot here in 2015. Next to Agent Winters.
Hi there, this is Allie, and I play Joanne Hart, director in the Office of Naval Intel. I'm old, and I'm pretty ready to retire.
Not yet, just one more job. And last but most certainly not least.
Hi, my name is Tegan Gilbert, and I'm playing Brett Hawking. The stag is on the scene, friends. Hey, Allie, are we co-located? Because I am the assistant director of the San Diego base branch of NCIS. I'm in the Sand Dog. Let's go to TJ. Let's go.
So we're going to raise the curtain tonight on some travel that's been done by the agents, or at least impending travel. So there was some communication back and forth between some of the team last time. Some very old numbers had been punched into a cell phone. A couple calls had been made. And then Agent Hawking, you had a unique experience over the past 15 years. But after receiving your invitation, you clearly have realized that you're going to have to get out of town pretty quick. You booked a flight. You lied to your wife. You're fairly certain that your wife knows you lied to her, and you left town anyway, because that's what the job requires.
It's okay. We're cool like that.
We'll see about that. So after getting this invitation, the agents, wherever they are, realize they really only have a couple of days to get to this birthday party. And I'd like to just sort of wheel back through introduction order and start with Weber and ask her, how is Erin going about getting to the party? Assuming, of course, that she is going. I would assume this is the thing that she's been waiting for the past 15 years, which is, oh my God, it's happening again and I get to be a part of this thing. How is she explaining that?
Oh, to my new super stable husband, Hank?
Yes, Hank.
I think Erin would lie her pants off to Hank. I mean, Hank's retired, so he's not working. He doesn't know what she is doing at her job. She considers her work mysterious and important. And she would probably just say it has to do with my work with nuclear science. It's nothing big. It's nothing big, Hank. It's not, there's nothing for you to worry about, but they want me to go up there and do some extra training with new hires. And so they've got some stuff going on up there, and I have some expertise in that area. So it shouldn't take too long.
Okay, I think it's a reasonable story. I think that's sort of a fairly reasonable story. I think also, too, you should probably give me a Charisma ×5 roll. I'll give you a 10% addition to this because you and Hank have a very strong relationship, and he's never been in a position where he's really had to worry whether or not his wife would lie to him.
He may have a reason now, possibly because my work has never sent me anywhere before. So this isn't like a regular occurrence thing. Why don't they have their own people up there? Why are you having to leave right away? Why didn't you know about this sooner? So I failed a 70 over 50 if you get with the extra 10.
Yeah, so he probably looks a little puzzled when you explain things to him. And he accepts it, but probably for the next couple of hours, he seems a little confused. Like, he's trying to get dinner prepared, as he's trying to put laundry away, all of the sundry domestic tasks that Hank does when he irons his plaid shirts and sharpens the axe that he uses to cut firewood he looks a little...
Hank's got some arms.
He does. He's got guns. That's why you married him.
Yeah. And I have other guns. I asked him to draw a clock because he's older than me, and he said he's acting off. So just to check his mental faculties.
Yeah, well, you know what we'll do? Why don't we just make a roll for Hank?
Okay.
Use these green bullet dice I have here.
Because if he can draw a clock, it's not his mental faculties, and he is suspicious. If he can't draw a clock, then things are worse.
He draws the clock just fine.
Okay.
He looks a little, I think perturbs the strong word, but he looks a little annoyed that you would ask him to draw a clock.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of accusatorily says, what are you think I'm losing it?
Well, I'm just worried you're acting so strange. And I'm just concerned because you're not acting like yourself.
Erin, they've never asked you to go anywhere, babe. It's just weird.
I know. I wouldn't say it's weird. I know they haven't asked me before, but there's a first time for everything. And I mean, I went through that period where I lost my job and then I got it back. So I feel like maybe now they're just trusting me more and are, bringing me in to do more things. So I see it as a good thing. And what I really need is my husband to be supportive of that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Do you know how long you'll be gone?
No. I'll have to check. Like I said, it just came up, so they haven't really finalized things. But and some of it will depend on how fast these kids can pick it up. I wouldn't be shocked if they asked me to stay a little bit longer to do some other things while I'm up there. But I promise I will try to be back in one piece as fast as I can.
Okay. Yes. I'll take care of everything around here, and we'll see you when you get back. Do you know when you're leaving?
Yeah. Oh, I told you as soon as I found out, but I haven't figured out any of the details yet. So I'm actually going to call them now, and I'll let you know because I just found out, and that's why you're just finding out because I just found out.
Okay. Yeah. Just let me know. He doesn't necessarily feel settled. You can tell that, but he doesn't pry anymore.
Perfect. That's all I need for now. When I come back, I'll smooth everything over.
Okay. You gonna use the number on the invitation, or?
Yeah, I will give them a call up.
Okay, yeah, you phone the number, and a male voice answers the phone. In the background, you hear the movement of people, probably some dishes, some light jazz that's playing. You hear a male voice say, Gateway Bridges Restaurant.
Hello. I'm calling about a birthday party. I got an invitation to the birthday party, but it's there at your restaurant, and the date, there's no date on it. So I am trying to find out when it is. It says it's the birthday party for Richard Zaloni, and it's at your restaurant, but no date. So I'm just calling you because I wonder if I kind of feel like this maybe is a surprise thing. So I don't want to call him. So I'm calling you to see if there's any.
Yeah, somebody else called about it tonight. Yeah, it's booked for 8 o'clock on September 1st.
Oh, September 1st. Okay, that's soon. Okay. Must have gotten lost in the mail on its way here. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance.
Okay. Have a nice night. He hangs the phone up.
I will text my companions. Hey, it's Aaron. I don't know if you guys called the number, but I found out that the birthday is on September 1st.
Did she just text me?
I think that's a good question. So I know Winter's phone number. Winter's kept a phone that had everybody's old number in it. So I would just ask for clarity's sake and, the sake of the meta plot. Is Erin texting that number? Has she always kept Elliot's phone number in her phone?
Just like Miranda, Erin never deletes a phone number.
I feel like my number's changed. It's been 15 years. This was back when we moved from flip phone to smartphone.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had Singular for a while there, and then eventually you had AT&T, and then at some point you had...
My sidekick kept getting sand in it.
I had Verizon Unlimited until it wasn't unlimited anymore.
But yeah, your number has probably changed, Hawking, I would think. But yeah, you plug in the text and you type on the regular old smartphone that you have, and Winters, a couple minutes later, you get a text.
And I reply, LOL, I called earlier, and I send it.
I do straight face emoji, but I typed the symbols in instead, so it's like :L. And then, I didn't know that, so I guess we just need to work on communication going into this. When are you arriving? Maybe we could have the same layover.
And I will reply, are we a team again? ?
Enemies? ?
Co-workers? ?
Feels right. Period.
I'm driving. Virginia to Boston.
They let you do that at night? ?
We space letter R space old, but I replace the O with a 0. Part of my job now is signal intelligence analysis. I have to read this bullshit all day long, and I get a little bit of a thrill using it against Dr. Weber.
I reply, can you draw a clock and then send me a picture of it?
Like an ASCII art signature file. I spend the next 20 minutes doing that on my Sony Ericsson. It's getting old in 2015, but I just can't give it up.
So previously to this, though, Winters was talking to Hart. And so I wonder, is Winters now like the communications hub for the group? Because that's sort of interesting. Are you still texting with Hart as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Never once do I think, let's just do one group message, though.
No, we're too old for that.
Too old, compartmentalize. Also, people don't care. No one wants any of all that extra stuff.
No, it's true, because it's too many notifications.
I text Hart, get this, Weber is coming too. But I use the letter 2, or the number 2.
And I just type, okay, period. Flying in, because during this time that after I called the restaurant, I'm gonna book my ticket, and I'm just gonna take a couple personal days for my job, and I'm going to have my ticket booked. I'm going to be landing wherever we need to at like 11 a.m. And I'll just give like my general flight details to Agent Winters. And I'm landing the day before the birthday party. So
I'm going to text Dr. Weber, get this, Hart is coming. And then I'll share the travel details that Hart just sent me.
Oh, good. I miss Hart.
So for those of you playing at home, September 1st, 2015 is a Tuesday. So the agents got their letter 28th. And so travel will take at least a day. The soonest that really any of them could hope to show up would be on the 29th. But that does give them a couple days in Boston to figure out some things should they so choose. So what I would love to do is give the agents here a little narrative agency and let them agree on how they'll all coalesce. Would they know where they need to be and what time they need to be there and where they need to be? I would love to just give it back to the players and say, how do y'all come together? Like, are people scoping out each other's flights? Are you hanging out at the airport waiting for one another? When that happens, like, what's that look like?
Do I know everybody's real name, right?
You know mine.
I know for a fact, that Elliot introduced him. You probably have Elliot's cards somewhere.
And I said I was coming in a day early, right?
You did. Yeah. Per our conversation last episode, you are coming in the soonest. You're dropping everything essentially and packing a bag and leaving the house.
Yeah. Like, well, it gives me a chance to... Do I want to stop at like the Charleston Navy Yard and grab anything or anyone? I don't want to drag other people into this, but I need at least some shit. It's an American restaurant, so I can't call domestic surveillance even with Patriot Act unless I want to really like get a judge to sign something.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, can I at least check the fly lists with my connections, with my bureaucracy check for, I guess, Elliot Winters, because he's the only one I fucking know for sure.
Yeah, I think that you could probably check flight lists given your bureaucracy. I'll just ask, your plan is to utilize agency resources to do so, yeah?
Oh yeah, let's use some agency resources irresponsibly. That's why I put points in bureaucracy.
Correct.
I am the deep state.
Right. In effect, yes. So you do check some flight lists and you get a ping back eventually. Elliot, you said you were driving, right?
I sure am. Virginia to Boston.
Yeah. So you don't get any pings for Elliot Winters when you put that name in.
That's good. I'm glad that they're going to be there. I'm really confident now that they won't be there, and I'm glad of this. That's fine. I'll take this extra day to set up a fucking... I would like to attempt to access a roof across from the restaurant.
That sounds fabulous.
I got a extra day.
Yep, you did. I will get to that. I will get to you in a little bit here, Hawking. That sounds fantastic. But I want to know how the other three agents come together at the airport. Talk me through how that looks. What's that like? What are y'all wearing? How do you get together? Does anybody have any mobility devices that we need to be aware of, given your advanced ages?
I'm not that old, Michael Diamond.
Sure.
No mobility agent necessary.
I was saying, I'm pretty sure Hank married me for my new hips because flexible.
100%. That's like getting a car after new wheels and shocks and struts have been put on. Like that's...
Ride's nice. Yeah.
Swivel hips Weber.
Well, I mean, I'd like to think that if I have given my flight information to Elliot and he gave it to Erin, that she might fly in around the same time. And then Elliot might be willing to pick us up from the airport.
I fly in much earlier and wait.
Okay.
But I pretend like I just got there too.
Do you see Hart maybe, and then you just keep waiting a little bit? I like to do that when I see someone.
Yeah, I walk past a few times. Just to see if they're there. but like turn around a little bit. So I casually run into them, even though I've been there for hours watching and waiting. Flight tracker, checking it all.
Okay. You wait. I like you seeing Hart coming off into the baggage claim area. That's probably where you see Hart. Director Hart. How do you dress now? Or are you dressing a specific way for this op because you don't want to be, super businessy? You want to try to go low profile? Do you have like the French beret on and like the scarf?
Yeah, and I'm wearing like sunglasses and I have a fake cigarette in my mouth. No. I dress basically the way that I've been dressing for the last like 30 years. I wear just like general pantsuits with like a nice blouse underneath it. And I have like a jacket folded over my arm in case it like gets cold at night. And I just have a rolling suitcase. My briefcase is nowhere to be found.
Okay. That's what you see, Weber. You see Hart walk off and there she is. And it's been 15 years.
I follow her slightly to see when she's going to wait for me because I'm there as well.
Mm-hmm.
In my peplum top, obviously, and then probably a really chunky necklace. I don't know. All those years really blend together for Miranda, so that might be out of style. But actually, that would be perfect for Dr. Aaron Weber. Ooh, yeah, I'm a little out of style, but that's okay because that feels right for Dr. Weber. And then once Hart doesn't stop for me, I'll be like, Hart.
And I'll stop and I'll spin like on a dime.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was trying to catch up to you. I just got here. And I thought I was going to miss you because of that. But you're here. I just got my luggage. So I'm here. You look good.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
So do you.
Thanks.
I was just going to wait outside since Elliot is probably going to pick us up.
I'm in a 2011 Toyota Camry. It's my first foreign vehicle. I love it. And I try not to tell people that because it's still a little bit, but man, it is the nicest car. It's taupe. And so I give you all those details to let you try and pick it out. There's probably 100 other cars that look exactly like it, but I also gave you my license plate, so.
It's not just that, though. The issue with the airport here, though, is that there are multiple levels for departures and arrivals, and so there is a little game between which level you're supposed to be on. And so there's like we're on level 2 at door 8. It takes a minute or two, but you do eventually see the aforementioned Toyota get close. And for whatever reason, Elliot, when you're pulling into a place to temporarily park the vehicle, you just at some point sort of just pull over. And there they are, standing next to each other. And there's just this realization that 15 years have passed, but these are the people that in a way you missed because you share experiences with them you don't share with anyone else. And that isn't 100% a good feeling, but they were invited to this birthday party too.
There's a moment when I consider just packing it all in, taking my foot off the brake, and then driving right back to Virginia and just ignoring all that. It flashes through my head real fast. What am I doing? Things are almost normal, right? But that dissolves. I lean over and I roll the window down manually and I wave and hello.
Taxi. Hey, Elliot, Winters. Hey.
Oh my gosh, look at you. Look at both of you.
Don't worry, we'll get our own bags. I start carrying my bag to the back of the truck.
I unlock. I don't get out. I unlock the car.
As I figured.
I haul the trunk open and just lift my suitcase into it.
Okay.
And I'll open the back passenger door and get in.
I'll sit up front because I don't want to get motion sick.
That is fair. You get into this Camry It's comfortable.
Never in my life did I think we were going to be doing another road trip together.
I mean, it's not really road. Like, you road trips, but you're just driving us around, so it's not really a road trip for us, but...
Oh, Doc. I missed you. Sorta.
Thanks, winners.
And Fancy Heart, I think I technically report to Heart in some way, shape, or form through the new government. I haven't really... Hi!
Hi there.
It's good to see you, too.
I was on the plane, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to ask you guys, did you think that dress was gold, or...
Oh, it was blue. It was blue, right? Off the one on the internet. That was a blue dress.
I thought it was both. Isn't that what it came out to be? Is that it technically was both depending on the lighting or some bullshit?
Picture Dr. Aaron Weber's expressionless face. Okay. And I've cataloged in my mind what their responses were.
Wait, did Brett make it?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him either.
I mean, did he make it? Like, make it?
Like, alive?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Man, I hope he did.
To be fair, I haven't talked to either of you since Montana, so...
Well, yeah, there wasn't a reason to.
Right.
It's sort of shaky after Montana, too. I asked because I almost didn't make it, and so I wondered if he didn't make it either. Or if he... I don't know. We shared some similarities,
Yeah. Well, you'd think if they were sending us back in, they'd give us a fourth person, right? Like, would they swap in, swap out?
Who knows? Who the heck is they? Who knows what their mission parameters are?
I don't know. Maybe you're good point. Maybe they didn't send this mail. Do you guys ever get mail from places that's not them? Just wondering.
No.
Okay.
Wait. Is that for real? You're asking me if I get mail from places that aren't the whatever? Yeah, all of it except.
But like from places, like not people.
Places? What do you mean?
Just sometimes I get weird mail, and I just wonder if you got weird mail, and if you did, you'd know what I was talking about. So you probably don't.
Aaron, I carried a dead dog's head around for a month in a box. You could speak clear. What are you talking about right here?
When we got, for a while now, it's been going on. I've been getting mail from the McAllister building.
That building doesn't exist.
Well, I'm getting mail from there. And I just thought you guys should know because we didn't talk about it at all on our last mission or since then. So.
Recent? This is happening like recent?
Mike, has it happened recently? Or I feel like it would be like an infrequent thing maybe, but.
Yeah. I think that is pitch perfect. I think it's an infrequent thing. I think you could not have any sort of pattern to it, but I think that occasionally you'll get notes from people who lived there.
Yeah.
And you might get letters that don't really seem to go anywhere or have any meaning, but they're definitely from the McAllister. The address is the same, and maybe one or two of them might have smelled like oil.
Yeah, in my head, in my heart, I kind of felt like it was like a lot at like first, and then it really trickled off. So that's, not as much anymore, because maybe it's giving up. I don't know. I never write back. I could write back if you think that'd be a good idea.
Oh, no, thank goodness. No, I don't think that'd be a good idea at all.
No, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Maybe we could look into it because someone maybe rebuilt it or something. I don't know.
I still have nightmares about that place every so often, but Jesus.
I don't want to interject any thoughts into Winter's head, but I will say that I think it's likely that Elliot probably keeps an eye every now and again on that space in town. He was sort of seemingly tied to that place soon after.
Oh, I think I even said at some point that when I go and visit my kid, I sometimes swing by and...
Yeah, nothing's been built in that space. It's an empty lot, and that is probably the last you knew of it about 2 or 3 years ago. It's still it's overgrown at this point. Yeah, they tried to have a community garden there at one point, and just nothing grew. And then it went into disrepair, and the city has ignored it ever since.
And I've tried to leave the airport. I'm trying to negotiate Boston traffic. It is awful, but so we're driving. But I will say, Weber, at least as of a couple years ago, that's the only undeveloped parcel of land that you could find in New York City. I sometimes swing by. I got family still in the city. I swing by sometimes and there ain't nothing there.
Well, anyone can put an address on mail. So maybe someone's just fucking with me?
Who knows one about the building and who knows where you live, and there's a lot of questions about that.
That's why I thought I'd bring it up because we hadn't talked about it yet, and if we're around, maybe if we're all together, road trip. So I just thought I'd tell you and see if you were getting them too and just didn't want to talk about it.
That's terrifying. I'm sorry that thing's following you around like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Hopefully the whoever is doing it has gotten the message and will stop sending you mail.
But if there is one thing that could make me feel better, stakeout. Can we do a stakeout again?
Of the restaurant? Of the party place?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
We haven't done a stakeout in so long. And you guys in your jobs probably always do stakeouts. I don't know. As a doctor of chemistry or physics, chemistry, I'm a chemist. I never get to do stakeouts. So I've only done them with you, and I thought we're here. We could stake out.
I've got a Brooks Brothers white shirt, Dockers, Timberlands, Potbelly. I haven't done a stakeout in many years. And so I will not enthuse. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Hart's a field agent still, too. And yeah, we could do that.
I spend very little time in the field anymore, actually. Promotions and managing people will do that to a person. But if a stakeout is what you need, Dr. Weber, to feel better, I will happily do a stakeout with you.
Yes. And maybe we'll see Brett.
If he's still around.
Yep.
Hey, Brett, can you hand me the they're on the ground there, the printouts. And I've got a bunch of MapQuest printouts of the city and of Potash and all the area around.
Is Brett there? Is Brett in the car?
No, Weber.
Yeah, I thought you said Brett. Sorry. I was so confused. Oh, yeah, here you go.
And I'll try and navigate my way towards this restaurant for a little stakeout in the middle of the day.
Yeah, middle of the day. So checking out this place is pretty easy, actually. It's a one-story Mediterranean restaurant. It's at 9011 Potash Street, Boston, Massachusetts. Been in this Dorchester neighborhood. Visually, it looks like it's been around for a little while. Just a casual glance that Weber does on Yelp shows that it has a 4 stars and remains a favorite for locals for Tuesday and Friday buy one get one free appetizer nights. It looks like a neighborhood restaurant. Probably something that is very uncorporate, probably owned by a family of some sort rather than some kind of conglomerate. It's got you can imagine that the bathroom probably has one of those yes, clean but also sticky floors depending on the shoes that you walk in. The kitchen's probably got some older appliances, probably an older dishwasher, but they upgraded the walk-in freezer about 10 years ago, and so it's considered new still. The cooks here probably complain to one another that they don't get paid enough and that they work way too hard and that nobody gives a shit what they say. But that's pretty much being a line cook these days anyway. From the outside, again, it's a Mediterranean place, so they probably don't play Mediterranean type music in any way. It's probably some type of jazz or Dave Matthews, which for them is probably one and the same. They don't see the difference. Not that they care, but
they're both improvisational music scores.
Right. Yes. Improvisational lyrics as well. But it looks like it's probably set up more for late afternoon and evening. There's no breakfast service or anything like that.
Is it its own building or is it the first floor of a larger building?
No, it's its own place. So it looks like it's its own place, and then just beyond it, there are, buildings that are probably multi-tenant brownstones and some of the other, maybe some single-family homes that are in the area. This is a residential neighborhood. This is probably somebody's favorite spot.
And so, Handler, when I look at it and I count the number of floors, is it just one floor?
One floor. One floor. Looks like the restaurant is open for a few hours, like during the late lunch period, and then it closes up, and then it opens at 3 o'clock, and then it stays open until probably 2 a.m. There's a park nearby. You could probably surveil it pretty carefully from the park.
Hey, Hart, how many stories you see on that restaurant over there?
Handler, do I also only see one story?
Yes.
I see one story.
Weber, do you agree?
I concur, yes.
Well, that's a good start, isn't it? I mean, if this place starts sending you mail, it might be a little nice. We get some discounts.
I mean, just because that's how many floors we see, that doesn't mean that's how many floors are there, right?
It's what we start with, at least. Yeah, it's what we start with.
So I'm going to interject something slightly because I know that Hawking is here and in the area doing surveillance. So you arrived earlier than they did because you basically took a red eye from where you were at to get on the ground as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I already raided the equipment locker at the Northeast NCIS office, which I had to drive an hour down to Providence and then back up. So I've had camera surveillance of everyone going in and out of that building. I'm actively running fucking license plates and tags, and underneath a tarp, I got a freaking sniper rifle pointed at that building. So you just tell me what I find out.
Okay, all right, easy there, champ. Let's walk through this a little bit before you start pointing sniper rifles at buildings. So I think that it's fair that if you're going to surveil the area, and you're going to do so likely at night, the night before, and have set up an entire camp, then I certainly want some form of stealth roll from you. I'm happy to give you a plus 20% to it because you'll be doing it at night, but you certainly need to be stealthy because you're setting up a sniping position.
Hey, I don't want to fail this check. Can I do anything about that?
I mean, you can't spend luck. That's not how it works in Delta Green. So here's what happens. You fail your stealth roll, but you don't know you failed your stealth roll. So, but I will say that you've got enough time to have set up something which is carefully set up. And I'm going to say you're at heightened position. I'll tell you what, because you're at a heightened position and it's dark, I'll allow that roll to pass based on a couple of environmental factors as well. There's not a whole lot really that happens during the day at this place in the hours that move up towards dawn. During the nighttime, though, this place at night does a good clip of work. You count about probably 15, maybe 18 employees at the location. There is a Latino American man that opens and closes the restaurant. He arrives, and that first day you're not sure when exactly he gets there, but because you weren't technically in position by then, but he leaves around 2 a.m. You know he's the owner because you watch him lock up. The next morning, he is back early, same guy, and you see that too. So that helps solidify that either he's the closer and opener, because let's face it, in the restaurant business, you can get fucked and be the closer and the opener. It's the back-to-back days. But people seem to take orders from him. He does a lot of directing traffic with the staff. It's probably about 11 or 12 o'clock when your binoculars, because they're probably not pointed down the barrel of the rifle the entire time, land on a mostly nondescript Toyota Camry. And it's the Camry really that sets the background for what you see when you look in. And when you look in to that Camry, you see behind the wheel someone you recognize. And that's Winters. And there's two other people in the car with him, both female.
Man, they all got old. I'm still watching. No, fuck this. They can be my canaries. I'm just gonna watch.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still running plates. I'm just watching. Fuck them.
So they stop outside the restaurant for a little while. And then after looking around a little bit, Elliot, you realize that there is a municipal park that's not terribly far. It's also stone-walled. So there's visual cover from the restaurant, and there's a basketball court nearby there where you could simply park and just hang out and still have eyes on the restaurant.
All right, Dr. Weber, get ready to stake out. And I will go find a parking spot.
You find a parking spot. When you find that parking spot, it's not an empty parking lot by any means. There's a few cars here. Unfortunately for you, Hawking, you watch that Camry roll after a few minutes, and it sort of inexorably circles the block, and then you see it pull into the municipal park nearby, the one you're in, on top of the public bathrooms that are there, which is where you've got your stakeout. So they are probably about 50 feet from you at best.
So they are also acting as if they're suspicious?
It seems like they are preparing to do a stakeout. And that sort of fits the bill because you can imagine Dr. Weber's voice in that car pleading with Elliot to do a stakeout.
Do I got a phone number for them?
I think if memory serves correctly, and I could totally be wrong, but I'll just make it happen because that's my job as handler. I think you have Elliot's phone number. I think he gave his phone number to every one of you. There's no arguments from Elliot. So
No, I absolutely did that.
yeah, so yeah, you have his number, or you have some record of his number.
All right, sweet. I'm going to text that number. Where are you right now? I'm going to get this text after 15 years. What are you doing? What are you wearing?
And I show my phone to Hart. Say, what do you think?
I mean, is that a number? That's it, since
It's just a number. I don't have a contact or anything.
well, I mean,
Is he not responding? Because I can keep texting.
He hasn't responded yet.
Toyota Camry, public park in Boston? Question mark.
And I think I'm still holding the phone towards Hart when that shows up, so you would see it first.
I think Buck is alive and well.
You think that's Buck? What did we call him? Little Buck?
Young Buck.
Young Buck, young Buck, young Buck. That's right. And saw it. Is this young Buck? Question mark.
I'm just going to text back the letter Y. Because I'm going to be fucking obtuse and shit. As if that, instead of the word yes, is less incriminating.
Oh, it's like one of these kids I got to read all day. Prove it. And I send that back.
Okay, so I'll just text back southwest corner of, and I'll describe the building that I'm like on the roof of.
It's the latrines. It's the public bathrooms that you're on top of.
Put me on the top of the bathroom?
I did. And actually, you put yourself on top of the bathroom. That's how that works. It's a structure made out of cinder blocks, right? And then likely brick. And it's secure, right? It's, it's probably, a 20 by 20 square structure that's split in half for urinals and toilets. And the doors are always locked. And like the water fountain outside of it hasn't been painted in 5 years. And like the water tastes a little funny, but
I'm on like the roof of it?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I'll just text back that I'm taking a shit, and then I'll like find something reflective and like reflect a bit of the sunlight towards the fucking car from the top of the public toilet area.
Okay. You do so. And when you do, that reflection skips off the car. And that's seeable by basically anybody here in the car.
Well, I don't know. I asked him to prove it was him, and I get all this weirdness. It sort of is proven that it is him, though. That's sort of what I'd expect. What do you think? And I'm looking at where that reflection came from. And is that him? Y'all see him?
I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going to find like a loose rock and I'm going to chuck it up there.
Okay. Yeah. A stone comes up and onto the flat roof there in the municipal park.
Motherfucker, hey! There's like sensitive equipment.
And I just give a thumbs up to Elliot, like, yep.
Well, I guess he made it. Let's go, Weber. Let's see what's going on here. I think he's on top of the shitter. I don't understand.
It's weird.
It's a weird place for somebody to be.
I'll get out and follow Hart.
Okay, you can get out. This position is now compromised, Hawking.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna close the laptop and put it back in the the Pelican case, and I guess I'll break down the sniper rifle and put it back in its Pelican case, and
I yell up, Buck, is that you on top of the shitter?
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I point.
I'm gonna drop I'm dropping my Pelican cases like over the edge. If I can, like onto Elliot.
This is what my brain is doing right now. It's really important. Some of you will get this touched on. At least I hope. I'm envisioning the burbs, and I'm envisioning someone who was scoping an important place out with a high-powered rifle, and then something terrible happening to them while they were doing so. So when you come down, Buck, I need you to make me an athletics roll for the pure humor sake of what could possibly happen to you.
This is like when in real life I climbed Mount Fuji and I broke my toe in the parking lot when I was leaving.
Yes, that's exactly what this is.
Real life. Okay, what do you want? An athletics check?
I do.
Charisma?
Not charisma. Athletics, it's a skill. You've got it.
Now my athletics is 30, but my dexterity is like 55.
You're right, 30. Yeah, so definitely roll.
Yeah, suck it. 5 under 30.
Okay, you stick the dismount. Pelican cases are where you have dropped them. You are set, and
I'm as nimble as Christy Yamaguchi. Let's do this.
there they are. There they are. All three of them.
I look at you. I walk up. Buck, look at you. It's been 15 years. And then I open my arms up for a hug.
I'm gonna hand him a Pelican case that has like a high-powered sniper rifle in it in exchange.
Yep. All right. It's 50 pounds. All right.
Can you pop the trunk, Weber?
Yeah, I was standing behind Elliot, also with my arms open, assuming it was going to be a group hug. So maybe I stabilize him a little bit when he gets handed that. And then, okay. Where's the button for this thing?
I have a lot of equipment to load up in that shit.
Okay, so you collect the stuff and get it in the trunk. There the four of you are in a park near this Mediterranean restaurant. Have at it. Chop it up.
What were you doing up on the roof there, Brett? You invited to the birthday party?
Being careful, being cautious.
You learn anything?
Shit, did I learn anything?
That there's probably between 15 and 20 people that work at the place. That the owner is likely a Latino or some mostly Latino man in his 50s, you think? That they play mostly jazz and probably some like 90s to early 2000s style pop, soft pop music.
How long do we got till this meeting starts?
Well, they flew out on the 29th. So that means that it is the 29th now, about midday, afternoonish. So you've got at least a full day, two days.
And now I'm out of my sniper's nest? Aww. I feel like it was a waste of a good sniper's nesting.
What kind of diaper you wear when you're up there? Just if you're just hanging out, waiting a couple days.
Well, it's kind of a public toilet, so you could really piss off the side and no one would notice the change in smell.
What about number 2? How to think about these hot things, Hawkins.
Just kind of hold it, I guess.
If you're gonna have you're gonna have to do better on our stakeout that we're gonna have. We all agreed stakeout time.
I'm surprised you can get your ass hauled in, Buck. Boston's a little bit itchy right now. People with equipment and hanging around in places. I'm out here. I told work that I was going to go check out these school bomb threats that have been coming up and hitting the city all over the place after the sentencing. And Is it hot out here, or it just seems normal to you?
Are we talking about the weather?
I'm talking about maybe police. Are there a lot of police around? Is there a lot of are people on high alert? It looks like you've been here for a bit.
Well, I guess I haven't. I mean, I guess my cover. I mean, my cover got blown pretty quick, I guess. So because you guys rolled up, so
That was your cover?
For the rest of you, it does give you an excellent view of the restaurant. You'll easily be able to hang out at the park for a little while. Ellie, you think, even given the recent stuff, it might be reasonable to maybe come back a little later tonight when it's darker. That might give you a little bit more cover. It's probably what Buck was up to. But, that's definitely an option. You could always go into the place and maybe try the food, get an inside look beforehand.
And just so I'm clear, it is August 29th right now?
Correct.
Okay.
I was going to have a meal there.
Okay. Yeah, no, and we don't have to do a scene for it, but I can give you a little bit of information based on being in the building.
Cool.
So it's definitely a Mediterranean place with all that entails. So there's a terraced area. There's a large dining room. It's got about 10 or 11 tables. Clearly, there's a kitchen and a utility area. You notice that there are 2 private party rooms. The staff is pretty good. The food is, frankly, unremarkable. You think the reason why it has 4 stars on Yelp is because the staff is really friendly. It has a laid back, but not ignore the customer atmosphere. The 2 things probably this restaurant does that you appreciate the most is the servers do not walk up to you when your mouth is full of food and ask you how things are. And 2, they're fairly prompt when it comes to drink refills, coffee, soda, pop, etc. They don't even wait to ask if you need something. They assume. And so they're one of those restaurants where they swap out a Coke that is has a fourth of the glass left with a fresh one. So they're just packing you full of sugar as soon as they can because it makes you hungrier. And that appetizer situation, which is something that the agents will not yet experience until the actual night of the meeting, because that's a Tuesday, is advertised well here. The buy one, get one free. The BOGO on the apps is big time here.
Heart's there too. We had a gal date.
I do some boring stuff in my time. I do some research on the building itself, look for weirdness, and then I do some check-ins to build up my cover story for why I left work and went to Boston for a little bit. So I needed to make sure a few people heard from me. Mm-hmm. And so I do that. And then I think on gal date night, I show up, but I sit at the bar.
You get to know a gentleman named by the name of Cole. Cole, his last name, which you learn after a few hours, is Peppers. He's a African-American gentleman. He's probably in his mid-50s. Interestingly enough, he's the guy you think who answered the phone at the bar when you called. He has a fairly well-stocked bar, and while there's nothing super special about the choice and selection of the alcohols here per se, he has a real smooth manner, and he's pretty laid back. He's got a story or 12, provided that you're interested. He talks a lot about the time he spent as a kid in Harlem, and about the music and the pulse of Harlem versus Boston, and how different it is here.
I think I will happily enjoy every one of those stories, and I will try and match some stories of my own and heartily enjoy Cole's company. At one point, I will let slip that, oh yeah, we're coming back in here for a birthday party in a couple days. So want to get a lay of the land, see what kind of place this was. And as an ulterior motive, I'm trying to stay late because I sort of want to see if anything happens to this place late at night.
Okay. So keeping an eye on this place at night is the bar probably winds down in general around about 11:30. So Cole's night after 11:30 is pretty slow, at least the night that you have to sort of wind things down with him. There's no more than, say, 4 or 5 people between 11:30 and bar time. And it seems like he's sort of on cruise control. You know that he's been tending bar here for a while, and that's something that you've had a chance to experience a little bit in his time, his stories. You hear a couple songs when you're in here, and some of them sort of trigger memories from past road trips. You hear a song that came on the radio distinctly when you were making your way to Montana. It comes on the radio here. And it sort of does line up with that moment in the road trip when Weber thought she saw her daughter. They're not in the restaurant. Their girl date is long, girl dinner, whatever, is long since past. They have left by that point. But Elliot, you experienced that.
I haven't thought of that since that day. I'm actually a little surprised that that memory hits so clean and vivid when I hear that song. God, I wonder if Weber's kid talks to her. I should have asked her. It would have been nice to ask her. I'll have to ask her next time I see her.
But as far as the business itself, it doesn't actually physically or visually change much after it gets pretty late. You do eventually meet Eduardo Diaz. He's the owner of the restaurant. He comes by, seeing how much time you're spending with Cole, and just sort of introduces himself. He hopes that everything is okay. Lets you know if there's anything that he can help out with to let him know.
I'll do the normal tourist in the bar conversation with the owner. How long have you worked? Oh, you own this? Is this your family? Oh, you always been a restaurant person? All that kind of small talk chit chat.
Yeah, he gives you probably way more information about his life and his family than you were really ever expecting. You hear a story of a family that worked really hard, immigrated to the United States from El Salvador, and worked hard inside this restaurant and other restaurants in the Boston area for years to save up enough money. This place came up for sale, and basically 2 different families pulled their money together, his parents, and they were able to buy it. And then he took it over from his father, and he's been working it. He's now he's past his 50s, but he doesn't really seem to have lost any sort of step, or he's still definitely somebody who enjoys the restaurant business, at least on the outside.
And I'm not going to try and do anything like ridiculous, like stowaway, but if it's a 2 a.m. joint or if it's a midnight joint, but right around closing, I got to use the restroom. You know how it is once you get up to an advanced age of 55, and I will head towards wherever the restrooms are, but I'll take a little bit of a snoop. I'm just opening doors, and I'm looking for any staircases. I'm looking for anything that is weird. I just can't shake it. It's just weird buildings.
You check out one of these private rooms, these party rooms. A couple big tables. There's more than enough seating in them. You can imagine if there's going to be a private event, it'd be in one of these. Elliot's a pretty alert person. You find a stack of napkins that's sort of sitting in a prep table for one of these parties. And they're square napkins. The napkins have the Gateway Bridge restaurant logo on them. And you feel like you've seen one of these napkins before. And standing there in sort of the middling light of this space, the party room is dark. The hallway behind you is only sort of half lit because it runs back to the restrooms. You look at this off-white napkin, and you remember that the last time you saw it, it had a drawing on it. There's no drawing here, but this napkin has to be the same style of napkins, has to be that Abigail Wright had in her apartment in the McAllister. It's a dead ringer. And that's why you're going to roll sanity for me, Elliot.
I'm looking up and towards the ceiling, all the corners for masked animatronics, mannequins as I roll sanity. 82 over 57.
Okay, so you're going to lose a point of sanity from helplessness. It doesn't feel like it's over. It's not supposed to feel like it's over because the four of you are back together again, and you don't understand. You don't understand how they could have gotten a hold of this napkin, or how Abigail got a hold of this napkin.
She couldn't have. It's impossible. That's 15 years ago. That was 20 years ago. I will stuff a couple in my pocket. Point of mechanics, I had a violence and a helplessness already ticked from previous. Is that still there, or did that go away over the 15 years?
Yeah, no, it's still there.
Okay. And I will back out of that sort of banquet room, eyes left and right, watching for shadows that move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll make a speedy exit at that point and leave the gateway bridges.
Okay, you leave the bridges. So I think that's a perfect time for us to sort of wrap this episode. And so we'll begin next episode back at the gateway as we have a birthday party for an old friend. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.